Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. I'm using a collection called Cool Dude by Pebbles. This is a fairly new boy collection, and I have a few photos of my son playing at the park. One is a 4 by 6, one 3 by 5, and then 5 littler photos that are 2 by 3. I'm showing you here the papers that I plan on using. This black paper here is actually a photoplay paper. I thought I would have enough to stretch it across a double page layout. In the end, I end up bringing in black cardstock instead of using that black paper. And then all the rest of the papers are the Pebbles collection. And then all the little embellishments that I'm going to show here in a minute are also from the Pebbles collection. This is the cut apart sheet. I actually end up using the stripe side, so I won't be using the cut aparts, at least not on this layout. And then this paper here is like, I guess like the black and white flag that you see in racing. Not sure what you'd call that. I guess like a checkerboard, but it's smaller print. And it's an orange, which I love because I love orange. And there's another photoplay scrap. Again, I won't be using any of the photoplay papers. I end up just using the Pebbles papers. So here's some of the embellishments that I was planning on using. A few of them, most of them make it on the layout. The only one that doesn't make it on the layout is the little dog. I end up trading him out for a dinosaur. So it's kind of like a dinosaur park theme type layout. There's no collections that really make a park type theme stickers and stuff like that. So I always find it a little bit challenging to scrapbook the park photos. So what I did is I decided to use some of the cute little animals that are kind of playing on skateboards and just having fun, something you do at the park. Those metal dies are from Tim Holtz, I believe the alphabet. The stars are just from, I forgot what collection they are, but they're just nesting dies and they're star shaped. So I have a few different sizes of those. I picked out 3 of the sizes. I end up using 2 of the sizes on the layout. And then I'm going to cut them out from the silver glitter paper along with play foam. And here I'm piecing a stripe border around the edge of the layout. And this is how I did it. I just cut stripes or strips of paper from the stripe paper and then started placing them around the edge of the paper. And I did want the colors to line up so that it would look like it was a complete paper around the edge. And that works out perfectly fine all the way around except for in the center, which you'll see here. I'm trying to match it up, but if I match it up to the center, then it doesn't match up on the end in the corner. So I decided the corner was more important than the middle. And the reason being is I'm going to take a piece of paper and stretch it from top to bottom and cover that center stripe anyways. So you won't be able to tell that the stripes don't actually line up in the end. And it turns out really cute. I don't think I've done a layout like this as far as a double page layout with the stripes all the way around. So I like a diagonal stripe. It's really cute, and especially this one since it's like a rainbow primary colors. So that's all I'm doing here is piecing it around, and all I did was put a piece of, or run an ATG tape across the back and then lay the border around the edge and line it up and trim it off. And it's fairly simple as long as you can get it straight. That's when the grid mat comes in handy. And then this one here, I'm going to lay it on top of this one to get it, straight, make sure that it is perfectly aligned because I will set them side by side while I'm scrapbooking on them. And there you go. It's finished. And as you can see, the top and the bottom stripes do not match up. So I'm going to lay this star paper across the middle, and then you won't be able to tell that they don't line up. And I'm going to lay these photos here of my son playing on the slide, and there's 3 photos in a row, and I did mat them on one piece of cardstock in like a film strip. And then my title is going to go over here on the left-hand side. And then I'll put a journaling ephemera piece on the right-hand side. And I will add journaling to that at a later date. And the way that I do my journaling is I print it out on a label that's clear, and then you can place it on top of the ephemera block, and it'll look like, I either wrote it or typed it out directly on top of there. And the little tree, I covered up the little tree, but I put the big tree that's an ephemera piece on top of it to cover it up. And I like the way that looks. So here I'm going to take everything back off, and I'm going to do white paint splatters. I decided that the black cardstock was a little bit too plain for my liking. So I'm just going to do, they're pretty small. They're not very large paint splatters. And I'm going to place them all around on the black cardstock. And it's just white acrylic paint, and it's watered down. I kept watering it down, hoping I would get a little bit bigger splatters, but for some reason I just cannot get the bigger splatters to work. And I think it's because I changed out my paintbrushes and I need a different paintbrush. So I'll be playing with paintbrushes this weekend, trying to figure that out. Till then, I'm going to clean up here, and then I'll bring it back in. The white acrylic paint dries fairly fast. Some of the bigger spots aren't dry, but I'm just going to roll them up, and it leaves kind of a different dimension of each of the paint splatters, because some of them are dry and some of them weren't. But I like that look. So here's the star paper that I'm bringing back in, and I'm going to place it down, and then I'm going to bring in this green paper, which I didn't show in the intro because I didn't think I was going to use it. But I ended up trading it out for the orange paper, the photoplay scrap of orange paper that I showed, just because it was too much orange and the green pops a little bit more. It's actually not as bright as it's coming off on the camera. So I inked up the edges also of the torn side, and then I'm going to ink up the edges of the tag, the ephemera tag, the ephemera journaling piece, and then not sure what else I ink up the photo mats, the orange photo mats that are going to go on the right hand side. And then I will also, I believe that's it. I did rough up the edges of the white cardstock that's around the photos. And that was just with the edge of my scissors. I seem to have lost my distressing tool. Sure, it's somewhere on my desk. Hopefully it didn't get knocked into the trash can. How many of you have lost something if you knocked it into the trash can? I think I've lost quite a few things in the trash can here or there. So here I'm going to lay my paper strip down, and I just line it up at the top, and then I'll trim off the bottom part. And that's usually what I do. I usually don't measure out 11 inches just because if it's not perfect, it could be a little bit shorter, and then you'll have to trim up the whole layout to fix it. So usually I just put it on when it's too long and then trim it off. So there's the green one, and then I'll lay the star one on top of it. And I'll cut that off on the end, and then I'll lay my photos down. And I kept the design fairly simple on this one, again, because, they're park photos. He's playing in the park. There's not much to say this was something we did a lot, but they're photos and they're cute, and I want to document them. So I'm just coming up with something that's cute and something that tells the story. So there you saw that was the paper that I cut the stars from. I cut it from the glitter paper, but I put the glitter paper on top of play foam first, and then used the metal dies to cut them out. And it worked fairly well. I'm not going to peel the backing off of the foam, the black foam. And the only reason I didn't is because sometimes I noticed if you use a large piece of foam like that, it warps in the album. So I don't like to do that. So I just added liquid glue on top of it and placed it down. If for some reason it peels off over time, then I'll glue it back down. But I'm not too worried about it. I don't think it'll pill up. And then on the little dinosaur here, it says incredible. And that was a sticker from the sticker sheet that I added on top. So the title is actually going to be Incredible Day at the Park, which is the same title I used a couple of weeks back for park photos. And actually, I didn't even notice until later on that I used the same title, but these ones actually go in a different album than the other ones, so it's okay. And I don't care. I mean, what else are you going to title it? I don't know what else you would title it besides It's a Day at the Park or the name of the park, which we kind of played at the same park a lot. So we would have a lot of layouts all named the same name that way too. So I guess just Day at the Park is a good title. And not all layouts need a title, but again, I don't know what else I would have placed there either. So I'm going to lay my letters down. In the park letters, I cut the same way with the foam, with the play foam behind the glitter paper, and then the metal dies. And I have a big shot die cutter, and it cut through just fine. So here I'm adding this cloud, which the cloud was cut from the 3x4 cut apart sheet, and I just trimmed out the cloud. And then I'm going to place a vellum sun at the top and this little pterodactyl who's cute. He is popped up on play foam also. And then I'm going to put ATG for my cloud because I forgot to do that. And then I will add the little sun, and I just used a little bit of ATG tape behind it, and you can't see it on that vellum piece because it's colored. And then it's also going directly down on the white cloud. So it's not very noticeable. Which vellum is a little bit hard to attach sometimes because you can see the tape behind it. And then I'm going to pop up the photo on the left and the right on play foam. And then I will put the little journaling piece over here to the left-hand side of the first photo. That little strip there says adventure. And then here's the little journaling piece. And I did ink it up. And then I'm going to put the little tree house down here at the bottom. Sorry, I'm a little bit off screen. I didn't know it was a little too far down. And then I did place one star down. I have one more star of the like medium-sized stars. I end up not putting it on the layout. And the reason being is because it's kind of the same color as the dinosaur. The dinosaur is like a gray color. And then that adventure at the top is gray. So then it just throws off the balance of the layout having gray, gray, gray. I could have did probably some smaller stars, but in all honesty, I just didn't want to cut anymore. So I went ahead and just eliminated it from the layout. So you'll see that here in just a minute. I did pop up the gray dinosaur on play foam. And I believe that's it. I thought about adding sequence. I end up changing my mind and I don't add any sequence to this layout. I was going to use this banner piece here that says just fun, just have fun. And then I did oh boy in this navy. And in the close-ups, you can see that I traded that out for an orange label that says oh boy instead of the blue one. And that was just because it pops a little bit more. There's the close-ups, and I will see you guys in the next video.